Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Green Bay Health Project podcast. Today we are joined by a Beth, not a Beth, Beth,
Yes.
owner and the mind behind Homegrown Fitness, out in O'Connell Falls. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
We've been trying to make this work for a minute, but
A
schedules,
hot minute.
honestly, schedules are a hot mess when you tie in business and family and all of the things.
Mhm.
Especially when you had a busy summer with some big events.
Yes, I did, and
Um,
I had a calm month of August, and I took full advantage.
yeah, you got to do that. I mean, we were kind of talking, like we said, before we hit the record button about a bunch of stuff. First, Beth, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Kind of the journey, what brought you to want to start your own and
Entity?
start, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a,
So,
it's a journey.
um, I have been in the fitness industry for over 10 years. I went to school at UW Oshkosh. I got a kinesiology background, and then, exercise fitness
Shout out to
was
Oshkosh.
my what's that?
Shout out to Oshkosh.
I know, I love it. It was if I could go back and relive my college years, I totally would. A certain amount of college
Yeah,
years,
right.
not
Same.
like short term, short term. Um, so after I graduated within 4 years and I started at Bellin as an intern teaching group fitness classes and doing front desk work. So making the phone calls, working on membership skills, building the relations. And then after I graduated, I transitioned right into personal training. And let me tell you, so as an intern, this is something that is engraved in my mind that a member told me this was like my second group fitness class I ever taught. And it was the same format, same workout, but it was 2 different Fridays. And she came up to me afterwards and she goes, we have never done the same workout 2 days in a r or 2 times in a row, and
Hmm.
like, ever since I heard that, that's always, like, stuck in my mind, like, "Oh my god, I always gotta keep reinventing the wheel." But now being in the fitness industry longer, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Muscle grows, on routine, you just gotta change up the volume, the intensities, but anyways, being in the fitness industry for over 11 years, you learn a lot about yourself, you learn about a lot about the individuals coming through the door, and your mindset shifts. So when you first come in as a newbie, your mindset is, I'm going to push you past your limits and I am going to kick your rear,
Mhm.
basically. Um, but now my mindset is all about adjusting the workout based on the individual when they come through that door. Yes, I come in with a game plan.
Mhm.
Um, but if that member is not emotionally in it, you have to make that shift. You have to alter the movements. If they were up all night the night before, we need to talk about it. We need to move our bodies based on the stress levels that they can handle. So a lot of growth within these past 11 years and um I've been my own entity now for 5 years. So from Bellin, after I had my firstborn, who is now 7, I switched over to like a corporate wellness um, position, opening up another gym. It's called LPI Fitness. And then I was there for about 2 years, 3 years, 2 years. And then once COVID hit, there was a big transition, I think, for all fitness
Okay.
industries where I tried to do like online work. I tried to do the online personal training stuff and it didn't suit me, but I really did push. I tried my best in all these different avenues to try to reach and connect to people. Um, and then at that time too, the company that I was currently working for no longer needed my assistance. So that's where they kind of opened the doors for me to go off onto my own, which was a very, very scary leap. Because when you're going off on your own, you have to look at your own insurance, you have to look to your
Mhm.
partner for support.
Right.
You have to take the customers that you have, but then you're doing literally everything on your own. Well, at least I did.
Correct.
I
Same.
probably did
Same.
everything
Yep.
completely backwards. Like from the marketing standpoint, did I have a business plan? Absolutely not. I just knew in my heart I knew in my heart that I was going to succeed and I was going to make it happen. Um, and after the first year of being in my own business, I felt like I hit rock bottom. I had a complete meltdown, asked my husband exactly what I was doing with my life, and I feel like I've defeated him. I
Mm.
let down my family. I let down my clients. Like it was the worst feeling. Um, and of course, he's right by my side as I'm like experience this meltdown. And I just remember waking up the next morning and I listen to K-Love Radio. It's very uplifting. I connect with them a lot and they meet you where you are at emotionally. And I was going on a wine bus tour with the girls and I looked like a hot mess. And as I'm pulling up, this song comes on from Danny Goki. It was The Comeback. Be ready for the comeback. And I knew right there that was my sign. Like that was my sign like something greater is about to happen. I didn't know when, I didn't know what it was going to be, but I knew it was going to come. And my sister-in-law actually met me at the door and she knew like I was in distraught. But so ever since then, it's like I gotta continue to push through. I gotta continue to fight because I know this is needed. My purpose and my value within this community is needed. Um, so ever since then, I've been kind of pushing through, and now I'm no longer in the vicinity of LPI, but I am working out of small town fitness, which it's just been phenomenal. The partnership that we have built building health within our community is great. We support one another. We know what we're trying to do. We communicate as best as possible. But it's hard because they're running a gym, I'm running a business, plus them two are also working full-time positions. So the overlap of us seeing is very rare,
Mhm.
but at least once a week, we do a text message or multiple text messages or a quick phone call when you're in the car. As you know, that's probably how you communicate sometimes.
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunately.
it's been really great. So I'm just currently now shifting my focus because, every shift of a season, something new arises.
Mhm.
And just taking this past month off to do a little reflection for myself. I am really, I am really acknowledging, and I'm putting all of my effort and energy into one-on-one training, small group training, and then nutritional coaching and educating and guidance on that. Versus doing like these big, large group fitness events because when people invest in me, I invest in them.
Mhm.
I I'm giving them all of my effort to help them along their health journey. We sit down, we create goals, we create intentions. I remind them of the whys that they continue to show up for themselves. I just had a conversation with a client this morning because she was losing motivation. She's like, "I
Oh,
just can't get up." And she just got married this summer. So I reminded her of, well, your motivation was your wedding.
right.
You've passed your wedding. Now what's next?
Mhm.
Right? What's that next why? What's the next drive for you to continue to show up for yourself every morning for our training appointment for you on your own to be strong, to be healthy, to stay, you know, in physically sexy shape for your
Mhm.
husband,
Right.
feel good in your own skin, have a clear mind, have the energy to tackle the day. There's so many positives to waking up in the morning. I like waking up in the morning a little bit earlier so I can have that peace and the quiet and that meditation time to just reflect, be present in the moment, to maybe read an article that I've been wanting to read for over a month. I'm still in the process of reading it. I may only cover a paragraph because when my head hits the pillow, I'm out. I I can barely read a full page, but that's probably because my mind is like running 1,000 miles an
Always.
hour because it's in a million directions. Um, which I'm working on. I'm currently working on.
You and me both. If you figure it out, let me know.
Well, a lot of practice. I just listened to a podcast and it was all about focus. And I was running on the treadmill. It was Monday, I think. Monday morning, I was running on a treadmill talking, and this podcast was the Huberman Lab.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about focus and how focus is an extremely hard thing to teach yourself and to practice. And it takes a daily practice for you to stay in that focus. So, for an example, I was running on the treadmill and it was like a 5K run. And it was not intense by any means. I was just wanting to get on there and sweat. And as I'm running, my brain drifts of what I'm going to do next. My brain will focus in on this project that I want to
Mm.
cover. Oh, I think this would be an awesome thing to do or offer in the beginning of the new year. That's like 4 months from now. I had to continue to redirect my brain back into that present moment of, wow, this run is making me feel phenomenal. My breath is calm. My legs feel great. My foot striking on the treadmill. Oh wow, look at my butterfly garden. The the sunrise, this brisk air in the morning. Like I had to bring myself to that present moment.
Mm.
Um and that took work. And then I took that, and with hunting season upon us,
Mhm.
me being the hunter I am, I want to take that and bring it into the woods when I'm sitting in
Nice.
my stand.
Yeah.
And and one of the things that he was saying was to eliminate the distraction. So, what is generally the distraction for a lot of people when they're hunting is their cell phones. Um, so I shut it down because it takes effort then to turn it back on and then time 20 seconds for it to fully load back up.
Mhm.
And I have to tell my husband that that is what I'm doing. So if he has to contact me, like the other day, he was looking for something and I had my phone off. And an hour later, I turned it back on and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. In the midst of the moment, I can't imagine how upset and frustrated you
Right.
were. So I texted him, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I had my phone turned off. Just know, like, I'm going to either turn my phone completely off or I'll just shove it on silent.
Yeah.
Um, but it takes work, it takes effort for us to avoid that distraction and practice to eliminate it. And that's something that I'm really applying and putting into practice. I have been for the past month because I find that especially like my phone can be a big distraction,
Mhm.
which is hard because I do everything on my phone
Right.
from work to communicate to marketing to media.
Mhm.
Um, and I've put plans in place to help me avoid that distraction, especially like when it comes to popular seasons like Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm going to take time off with my husband for hunting. So I'm going to eliminate those specific distractions, which Facebook,
Mhm.
Instagram. I mean, obviously, I'll have to keep like my email and stuff on there, but eliminate those because then I don't get that notification of like, oh, somebody liked a post or oh,
Right.
this. Like I want to be in that present moment, take photos without doing the quick click to, oh, what's going on in my news feed? I don't need to know what's going on in the news feed. I am in connection with all the people that have supported me from day one. They outreach to me through Facebook Messenger or through personal text messaging. And truly, I have built relationships with the people in the gym that I like my clients. My clients have almost become like friends to me too. So, all those other 900 and people friends that I have on Facebook, I'm sorry. I appreciate you for following me. However, sometimes I don't need to know all of that. That's too
Right.
much in my world. I just need to be focused in on the now and the present and the people within it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Social media is like a double edge when you have your own business, right? Like I always say, I don't think I'd be on it. It's so bad for me mentally. Um,
mhm.
like it's so bad for me. And so I try my best I put a limit on my phone where it cuts me off if I spend more than 10 minutes on either of them.
Oh,
Obviously it's easy to just hit ignore, but there's apps out there that I've used too that will literally lock you out after a certain time frame. So I've used those.
cool.
But then when you own your own thing and you're running your own stuff, like you're doing all the things, you kind of need it. So it's like, what's that fine line? You know, it's do I log into the business page? But then it's so easy just to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go on the personal side of things too. And then you scroll and you're like, well, damn, that's not what I was going for. But here I am.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. I've set boundaries on social media and I'm still constantly working them on them. But it is hard. It
Mhm.
really is hard. That quick satisfactory of I'm going into my own personal news feed. I'm going to go to Facebook Marketplace, see what people are
Right.
selling out there in this world. And then I'm going to check out some of these other businesses like, oh, and this is the downfall of when people are on social media, for me at least. Social media is almost like a competition
Mhm.
of who is doing the best.
Right.
And to me, I believe a lot of it, yeah, not a lot of it, I shouldn't say that, but I feel like it's a competition and I feel a lot of it is fake.
Mhm.
They're showcasing what they're doing, but they're not showcasing their feelings and emotions or the vulnerability, the
Right.
hardships. And you know what? That's okay. It's not meant to be put out into the world. None of this really is meant to be put out into the world, but here we are. We're
No.
showcasing all those positive things. We're sharing it. We share the things that we're excited about, and that's great. But we also then maybe should share some of the hardships that are
Mhm.
happening. So earlier this month, I had to make a post on my social media because I haven't in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I need to make a post to let people know I am still here.
Mhm. Right.
And but I wanted it to be where I was at currently, feeling with my emotions. And it was basically just putting out there like, I'm still here, but I'm sitting with a lot
Mhm.
and I'm managing it. I'm working through it and I will be back, but I'm creating boundaries for myself
Mhm.
on how often I post. Um, my computer is acting up, sorry.
All good.
But how much I post, how present I'm going to be, I'm going to take that step back. Um, and it's been good for me doing that because now, and I'm going to be sending out my first newsletter here for
Nice.
this month, kind of highlighting all of that, talking about my August, talking about, you had the rush of that summer. And then in August, a lot of that dust settled and it didn't sit well with me. And just to reflect on it a little bit, a few years ago when I did make this shift in my own business, I have this massage therapist from Life Spa. Her name is Angela. She's in Howard. She is phenomenal. I've been going to her since I've been in high school. And so she does this LifeWorks massage, which is all about like energy rebalancing and connecting with oneself, but also like de-stressing you, obviously, because it's a massage and Reiki, maybe a little bit. Um, but after my massage with her, she helped me reflect on some of the things that she was sensing. And one thing was about these aren't her exact words, but this is how I'm relaying it is I I feel that you do really good amidst the storm and the chaos. You're able to handle it and manage it well and you just go with the flow. But when it comes time to the calmness and the
Mm.
quiet, it's uncomfortable to you and it doesn't sit well with you because you're allowing a lot of your emotions and feelings then arise versus suppressing them. So you have to sit with them. And at the end, I'm getting chills just talking about it because I just had a counseling appointment then on Tuesday and I reflected on it and I said, I can't believe on how much everything has come full circle for me.
Mhm.
Um, because in the month of August, it was quiet, it was calm, and I was allowing feelings and emotions to lift that I've suppressed,
Mhm.
that I haven't communicated. And now that I have acknowledged them, I've communicated a lot of it, with my partner. I've shared some of this journey with some of my clients, and it's been great to acknowledge because now I can teach my kids this.
Mhm.
I can share, like, it's okay to sit, it's okay to feel, it's okay to have these emotions. Let's talk about them, let's bring them forward. If you're feeling sad and frustrated, let's talk about it. Help me understand. Um, and help me process them. Like it's been really good for me to see that. And that's actually why I've shifted my focus and my energy more into that personal training and that into the one-on-one and small group training, because then it's something that I can help my client bring forward as well. And if they need additional assistance, I can send them to where I'm going, or I can, share like, maybe you would benefit from talking to a counselor. They can give you additional tools that I can't. So, it's been a great journey, and the self work is definitely hard. And I believe everybody could benefit from seeing a counselor, doing
Uh-huh.
the self work,
Uh-huh.
utilizing the tools. And so, I mean, that's what we are for.
Right.
We listen to people's problems.
Right.
We are not just a, personal trainer, athletic trainer, physical therapist. We are a counselor.
Honestly.
So we don't have all the tools though for that. So
No.
obviously we direct outward. We share what works for us. We share, the tools that have assisted with us, the different podcasts that we have listened to. Like I messaged you the other day, I shouldn't say the other day, about a few weeks ago,
Mm.
on a podcast that just sat well with me. I could
Yeah.
connect, it resonated. So it's all about just really understanding those feelings and those emotions,
Yeah.
that I've been just working on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really cool too. I mean, I think maybe cool is not the right word. The vulnerability I think people appreciate because to your point about social media, it's all the good things and people rarely feel like there's this stigma out there that if you admit to things being difficult, you're weak or
Mhm,
you're lesser of a person. And in my mind, in my opinion, this is my opinion, if you can openly talk about those things, I think you are probably one of the strongest people because you're open, you're talking about it, which means you do a lot of internal work. Like you're thinking about things and you're realizing some tough times and allowing yourself to feel that. But then ultimately, you're talking about it, and so you're putting in an effort to combat it and come out of it. So I think, um, unfortunately, people are scared to have those conversations. But when I feel like I can connect to people as well because I've gone through some shit and I'm open about it. Like I feel like that makes me part of who I am, and you can just
mhm,
connect, and people appreciate that. I mean, it's a real conversation, and nothing's fake, which
mhm.
I don't tolerate well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So just creating those boundaries on social media, I think
Right.
everyone could benefit from. I know a few people that still don't have Facebook, they don't have the social media, and they love it. When I told them that I was completely unplugging for the 2 weeks that I did in August, they're like, "You probably just loved every second of it."
Right.
And then they're like, "See, now you know why I don't have it." And I'm like, "Yes, and I wish I could continue. However, I am running a business,
Yeah.
and this is a free marketing tool."
Right. You have to do it. That's the thing.
So,
Yeah.
just with my shift of focus and, my intentions, because my intentions are always pure and raw and honest, that's where I'm gonna be taking the social media. I'll share my workouts, I'll share my journey with you, I'll give you, like, tips and tricks and stuff like that. However, I feel if you want to learn more about the physical functional side of things, that's where you just come in. You connect with you or I. You could, I mean, it doesn't hurt to just talk to learn,
Mhm.
schedule that 30-minute appointment and just use it as an opportunity to learn.
Right.
Take a few tips, put it into your own program, or maybe you liked it so much for the accountability standpoint, where now you just signed up for a few sessions and now you just created a new best friend.
Mhm.
One, two, you're going to have that accountability factor. Three, you don't have to think about what you're going to do when you come into the gym because your trainer, your coach already has that planned.
Yeah, I think I was just talking to somebody about that this morning actually, who wasn't working out regularly because it was difficult, and now he joined a gym and is going at 5 a.m. super consistent. And the big reason is he was like, I didn't go last week a day or two and I tried to do stuff in my basement. He's like, and it was so much harder. He's like, now that I'm part of this community, I was like, "Well, yeah, because now you all you gotta do is wake up and get there." Like, you
Mhm.
now you can walk in, you can do a warm-up. They will lead you through a warm-up. You don't have to worry about what you're gonna do on any given day. It's all programmed and prepped for you, and you've got coaches there that are gonna push you through it, and know more about you, and they'll help hold you accountable. If they don't see you, they're gonna check in. Like, it takes all the thought process out of it. You
Mhm.
literally just have to show up to work. Uh,
Yep.
you can't beat that.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want a 5 a.m. high five?
Right.
I mean, I do. I thrive on high fives and hugs, so you gotta have a cheerleader in your back pocket always, and I mean, like, that's what we are. We
Right.
are always going to try to help and encourage you and uplift you and, teach you the best method of movement,
Mhm.
especially for sure, I know you and I will. I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm pretty sure most of the fitness industry, give or take, is here to give you the best. And functional movement is a big thing right now on just, being strong for life, making sure you can do the things that you love from and being in Wisconsin, this is a 4 season state, so there's hiking, there's fishing all year round, there's snowboarding, there's cross country skiing, there's biking all year round. There's so many things that we can be doing, hunting, um, all year round that you wanna be physically fit to be able to do. Rake your leaves, push a wheelbarrow, have stack wood. Farmers, I live in farm country,
Right.
so you have farmers that are constantly up and down in their tractors, so think when they're climbing up in a tractor, they're pulling with one arm every single
Mhm.
day versus two arms. So think of that imbalance that's occurring on a routine basis. So movement, flexibility training is definitely overlooked. Mobility training. I
Mm.
just was talking to a
Mhm.
gal in the gym today on how her husband wakes up so stiff in the morning he can't even stand up straight, and she goes, "I would just love him to come here and work on mobility with you." And I said, "Absolutely." I have, like, 3 clients currently that's all we do is mat work because they don't do that elsewhere, so I can at least hold them accountable to their mobility, and then I have another client who he is so funny. I've been working with him for over 3.5 years now, and he always comes in and complains about the stretching portion because he always just wants to get to the sweat. And I said, "Well, here is our intention moving forward." I said, "I will give you a full-on hit workout if you give me 30 minutes of stretch."
Nice.
So now that's our program, that's our plan. I said, "I'm gonna make you and force you to do 30 minutes of the stuff that you don't like to do, but then we will full force all the things that you love to do in the next 30 minutes." And yes, he's still really tight because it's still early in the month, but I'm like, that's all we need to do. It's going to help his shoulder range of motion. He's a big golfer. It'll help his hamstring flexibility. He works at a desk all day long. So I'm like, he's just so stiff. And if those are things that we could implement on a day to day basis and teach the average individual. And honestly, every individual could wake up every morning and give themselves 15 minutes of mindful movement.
Mhm.
They can plug in a podcast, they can lay on the floor and listen to somebody like you and I and stretch and just lay there. That's meditating. And imagine if they started their day like that versus waking up, watching the news, the rush of the moment. You literally wake up, roll out of bed, and fly out the
Yeah.
door. It's already causing cortisol levels to spike, the your heart to race. You're not giving yourself that moment to breathe. And that's society today. We're
Mhm.
all out the door. We're fast paced.
Right.
Um, so that's kind of what I try to educate a lot of my clients on is you may not move fast in the morning if you wake up 15 minutes, but that's fine if all you're going to do is lay on the mat and stretch.
Mhm.
Listen to something that's going to allow you to become more knowledgeable, that's going to sit well in your system. So if it's a prayer, if it's reading a book, maybe you just listen to your book that you didn't get 15 minutes to do the night prior because you were sitting at a football game because
Right.
it's football season now. So, or if it's maybe tuning into a cooking show that you want to learn a new recipe for, just little things like that can go such a long way. And just giving yourself time, and that's gonna change. I mean, you do 15 minutes this month, you may be like, you know what? I feel great. I'm gonna tack on 10 more minutes, and maybe instead of just the mobility portion and that Modiversity podcast that I just listened to, I'm gonna
Mhm.
throw in like a hit butts and guts for 10 minutes. I mean, I have some YouTube videos that you can YouTube for some butts and guts, and they are 20 minutes to 10 minutes. Um, and if you need additional guidance, we're here for you to give you something that you can just do simple at home. And that's where YouTube is handy and these podcasts are handy because there's so much out there. And I think that's where people get overwhelmed
Yep, I
too,
would
because
agree.
there's so much information out there. And
Mhm.
that's physical fitness, that's nutrition, that's mindfulness, that's spiritual, in all spectrums of the wellness umbrella.
Mhm.
There's so much information out there that is so overwhelming that having a coach that understands that you need to do what's right for you in the period and season that you're at is extremely important because what works for you may not work for somebody else and vice versa. Everybody's journey is different. Your season is going to shift and change throughout the year because you don't know what obstacle is you're going to be faced with. You can't predict the obstacle. You know you're going to hit an obstacle, but you can't predict that.
Right.
And that obstacle could be good or bad. We don't know.
Have you ever
It's the
read, do you read any Ryan Holiday books?
um, I do not. I
Mhm.
wish I was a reader. And again,
You should
that is
listen
my
to it.
hope, my intention. In the mornings that I wake up, um, I would love a book.
Yeah.
So send it over my way because then I can at least take 30 minutes in my morning to
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, and they're not overly complicated books, but they're deep. Like, so he's big into stoicism. And so like this book that I was thinking about is called The Obstacle is the Way. And so it talks about that. Um
Mm,
it's a good listen, actually. So I've
okay.
read and listened. It's easier to listen, in my opinion.
Always.
So
Yeah.
check it out.
Okay.
Check it out. But
Send
yeah,
that link over to me.
deal. I can do that. I can do
You asked me to Google something, I'll get lost in that Google.
that.
Okay.
Right. It's like on socials. Um, so yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're just really big on meeting people where they're at and kind of
Mhm.
building up. I think too many people are put in buckets where like, oh, hey, you fit this category, you fit that category, like you're general, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nah, you can't do things that way. And people, I don't know. This is my opinion. Again, people don't like that. I think there's a shift coming where people don't want general. They want specific. They're more health minded because of all the information that's out there. But it's overwhelming. So they
Mhm.
need people to break it down and make it specific to them. Um, cause I don't know. I can't tell you how many times people are like, I've been trying this or trying that. Where'd you find it? Google. I'm like, yeah, sounds right. Like, but it doesn't work. I was like, well, yeah, makes sense. But
Mhm.
kudos to you for trying and putting in the effort.
Right.
It's more than
I
all.
mean, there's all those TikTok trends out there that
Oh,
everybody tries.
no, I'm not even gonna
I just had
go down
somebody
that
who
rabbit hole.
oh, I know. I just gotta share this story though because it just makes me laugh. I know somebody who did it was a TikTok cleanse with salt and water where I believe that you just throw a bunch and I just saw it on my Facebook and just like the news feed at I don't know what. It was one of those commercial things. But it was like you just pour a bunch of salt in water and you drink it and it's supposed to like cleanse out your system and we were supposed to train the next day. She did not show up. Let's just put it that way. And I'm like, where did you learn about this cleanse? And she goes, TikTok. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
So
And all
bad.
we do is laugh about it. I mean, I guess you got to sample this stuff. And she goes, it worked. It worked. But I'm like, yeah, it worked, but
Worked
I
it?
don't think it was probably the best
Right.
thing. Honestly, the best way to cleanse your body, there are some good liver cleanses out there,
Mhm.
like Kim Klimek. She
Yep,
can guide you on some of those really gut healthy, liver friendly cleanses.
for
But
sure.
otherwise, just, you know, drinking water, lemon water, adding a little bit of the electrolyte like Himalayan sea salt in there, eating whole foods, making sure they're clean, making sure they're rinsed, dried off. Um, those are and staying away, like, from the sugars and stuff, like, just if you focus in on that clean eating for a week, you will probably start to feel like a shift within your gut. Um, and I do like right now there is that big shift in the nutrition side of things within the grocery stores and on the markets these days. There people are we're really trying to start seeing more clean foods.
Mhm.
Um, and clean and organic doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be more expensive. And I think that's the stigma of people eating healthy.
Sure.
They believe that it's gonna be more expensive. You can go grocery shopping at your local grocery store or grocery shopping at an Aldi's. You're probably gonna spend more on your Whole Foods at that local grocery store than you would at an Aldi's.
Mhm.
Like, I love Aldi's. I will shop at Aldi's first
Huh.
always, and then I'll do, like, your simple pickups here and there at other grocery
Yeah.
stores, but you don't need to go to, like, all these fancy grocery stores to get the best thing.
Right.
If you look at store brand stuff compared to and somebody who works at Festival Foods, I don't know if she still works there now, told me this, but if you look at, like, their Food Club brand compared to the top brand ingredients, they're the same.
Mm.
So you have people who buy top brand and then you have people that buy store brand. I am one that looks at the ingredient and I think that's what we need to educate
Yeah.
people on and that's my role as a nutritional coach is educating the individual on the ingredients of what they're eating in that nutrition label. Like, yeah, I'm not going to tell them that they have to get rid of their snacks. I am a snack queen. I love my snacks. I got 3 kids that also are snackies. So every time I go to the grocery store and I see something new, I dive into the ingredients because I want to know what they're using.
Mm.
But then I'm also like, if I'm going to eat this in moderation, it should be okay. I'm not going to eat 5 bag of chips in 5 days.
Yeah.
A large bag of family sized chips each day. Absolutely not. I stocked up on chips. I think it was like in July back in July, and I mean, I came out of that grocery store with 12 different bags of chips, from your hint of lime Tostitos to cherry wood, potato chips, to these honey crinkle ones, and I'm still working on those bag of chips.
Well, good
So
though.
right? And my kids know I mean, I did have to buy a few new, Tostito scoops, I get the multigrain ones, but it's like, when things are eaten in moderation, it is okay, and I think that's where people are getting scared, like, "I can't buy that. I can't buy this." It's like, but you can buy it, you just have to have the willpower to eat it in moderation. Put it in individual bags so then you don't lose that control. Weigh it out. Take the extra steps so you don't have to lose some of the favorite things. Are there some things that I do redirect people to eliminate out of their diet? Absolutely. Because then we try to shift more into the healthier options.
Mhm.
Um, so it's just all about educating them. Like, you don't have to starve. Learn to experiment in your kitchen. Like, that is my big thing is experiment in the kitchen, play around, be a kid again, make a mess. If you come to my house, my kitchen is dirty most of the time, except on Sunday evenings. I always restage my kitchen most nights, I should say, because like I like to wake up to my kitchen being fresh and clean. That's the first
Yeah.
thing I see.
Yeah.
And um I hate dirty dishes, but you know what? It's a house that's lived in and it can't always be clean.
Mhm.
And that was a hard one for me to swallow.
Yeah. Same. I hate dirty dishes. Erica's always like, "You know why?" I do the dishes as I cook, because
Um,
even when I'm done, I'm like, "I just don't want a mess." And she might hate that I say this, she stockpiles.
oh my God, that's me. I stockpile.
She stockpiles because she's like, "I'm gonna do them all at one stop." Whereas, like, I'll use something and then wash it, and then use something else and then wash it. But to each their own. Anyways, a clean kitchen does feel nice.
It does, it does. I am totally a stockpiler. One day I was doing like you, doing the dishes in between. I said, "This is so nice." I said, "Look at there's barely any dishes." And my husband he goes, "That's because you did it in
Yeah,
between. You were proactive."
right. And then you're just
I'm
done.
like, "Yeah, you get it done." I'm not like that all the time, but
Well, there's
It's
some
all right.
circumstances that you can't do that, but it's
Yes.
nice to like be done cooking, can sit down and eat, and it's clean.
And it's clean,
And
absolutely, and then you can move on to the next task of the evening,
right.
which, I mean, if you got your son,
Mhm.
so you know what it's like, bedtime routine,
Mhm.
you gotta crank that out,
Mhm.
and now with the shift of school, it's I mean, we like our downtimes in the evening as much as possible just because the rush of the day, you
Yep.
can tell, like, the kids are a little bit more exhausted right now, but that'll change once they get into routine. We always designate Thursday evenings because I usually work late on Thursdays as, like, our popcorn movie night, which
Mm.
is abnormal for most. Usually, people like to do that on a Friday. Kids still go to bed at their decent time of 8 o'clock, but we make sure they brush their teeth and, put on their pajama I should say, we always make sure that they're ready for bed before we have our movie and popcorn, and even if that movie is for, like, 30 minutes, the person who wants the popcorn the most is generally me when I come home from work. It's like I crave it. I'm like, it's popcorn night," and it's freshly popped stovetop popcorn, and my husband makes the best. Like,
Mm.
I try and I can't make it anywhere near how he does it, and the kids also know that. I'm like, "Come on, I'm the one who taught him this."
Yeah.
It's either mine is a little too salty or not salty enough, and sometimes I have too much of the kernel. I don't know.
Picky.
So yes, but yeah, we try to stay consistent with that bedtime routine and, reading the books, but we're learning. It's a new season, it's a new school year, and our kids love being outside, so we try to get them outside as much as possible, especially after school too. Um, recent so with bear hunting opening up, we've been going on a lot of adventures. So we have these Melissa and Doug backpack adventure kits where our 2 youngest, who's 4 and gonna be 3, they grab these adventure kits and, we go on scavenger hunts. And
Mm.
on Sunday, I hid, like, things in the woods, like, I have this wood carving moose, I have a bear, c knick-knack thing. We hit a rubber ducky, and they get their binoculars out, and we're just going on this hike, and as I'm talking, my youngest turns around, and he goes, "Shh, bear sleeping." I'm like, "Okay." He was so into it. It was the cutest thing. It was so funny. We're in this funny phase right now with him. It's a hoot, and so we have the 2 girls, our oldest, our 7-year-old, our 4-year-old are girls, and then our youngest is a boy, and I was just telling a client today on how I can totally tell the difference, like, in personalities, boy to girl.
Mhm.
Like, the girls are when they come home, they either wanna make bracelets or they just wanna chill and just draw. Letty, our middle, is a little bit more on the wild side, like me a little bit, and just do a craft or play a little Peppa Pig, Bluey character stuff. Taman wants to run around, drive his gator, throw the ball at me, wrestle,
Yep.
like, like total boy, play in the mud. And Letty will be like back and forth. Whatever Huntley's doing, she wants to do. Whatever Taman's doing, she wants to do. So she's like kind of confused, like, I don't know which one to do. They both sound so much fun.
Yeah,
So it is just, we're in this wild ride, and it is so fun. Being a parent is fun, but it is also challenging.
for sure. I was telling somebody that yesterday they're expecting their first in probably 3 weeks. And I was like, I struggled the first like 3 to 6 months as a dad. I didn't really know my role outside of like supporting Erica because
Mhm.
I mean they eat, sleep, but if I don't feed them, like I can't soothe them as well. And but like it was like that 5 6 month mark. It was something shifted. It's like the relationship got way better. We started to play. He had more reactions and facial expressions, and now he's 2. And I'm like, dude, you are a good time. Don't ever grow up. Like I loved it. And like we're to you too. He's like riding his tractor all the time. He's bouncing. He's jumping. He's running. He's starting to put words together. Um, throwing a ball. Like always wanted energy nonstop.
Mhm. Oh,
But
yeah.
um, it's it is tough, but it's a good time too. Like I literally like I love this age. This is fun.
See, I told Adam out of all of our kids, it wasn't the terrible 2s that beat me up, it was the terrible 3s,
Mm,
because that's when they're starting to talk back a little bit, try to test their
sure.
boundaries, challenge you more, where 2, you kinda can cap it a little bit,
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
and it was just like a rocky road with my girls, and Taman so Taman's turning 3,
Yeah.
and it's so funny to see his attitude starting to come out, and I'm just like, I know where it's coming from because I've seen it come from your sisters, but I was not expecting it to come out of you, but let me tell you, he's got it. On the way to school today, he wanted something, and, as the driver, I'm also the snack passer, the radio player, the "look at my drawing, mom"
Right.
person, like, "You
All
got
the
a
things.
tissue," mess cleaner upper. Um, so, well, he wanted something, and I can't remember what it was, and his response was, "I'm gonna hit you with my skateboard," and it's like this little, like, knick-knack skateboard, and I kinda turned my head back, and I said, "You don't throw things or hit things at your mom or anybody else." But I had to kinda giggle under my breath because he'll say that at home sometimes if he wants something, and then he'll come up and spank me, and I'm like, "You don't spank me." Like, "No, that's not how you're gonna get the things that you want in life."
Right, right. Yeah, it's
So it's
ignorant, right?
yeah, it is definitely and it's so funny. We just shifted him into a big boy bed yesterday, and let me tell you, the excitement in his face, and I, like, displayed his toys a little differently underneath his bed, like his larger toys, and it was like he's never seen those toys before. He goes, "Wow, look at this truck under here," and it's a PBR play truck with a trailer, and it's got all these bowls inside, and so now, like, he actually, like, played with it. Like, I've never really seen him play with his toys in that manner, but he's, like, playing with these bowls, and he's bull riding, and, out of all these little knick-knack bowls, you get cowboys with them, but we only have 1 cowboy remaining because the other 2 lost their heads because they're knick-knack toys, so and that cowboy that we have looks like their dad. I'm like, "Look at this daddy bull rider." So it's just we're in this fun phase.
Yeah,
It's a roller coaster, like I said. It's definitely an adventure. It's a wild ride, and you never know what parenting day you're gonna get.
right. That's the truth. Like we had said, before we scheduled this out, I was like on link duty and it was nap time. It was gonna go one of two ways, but luckily Erica's schedule changed, so she came home and handled the nap. And from what it sounds like is she's been trying for the last hour and he just fell asleep the last 10 minutes ago from
Oh,
what I'm hearing.
oh, that
So
sounds about right.
I know, right?
That totally sounds right. Usually, if I'm at home and I have to do, like, a personal training call, my child will always wake up.
Yeah, always.
No, like,
We have that
no,
too.
last week I did a PT call, and of course, it was right in the morning. I was like, "Oh, I got this window." They usually don't wake up until 6:30, but of course, they wake up right at 6:15, and I'm like,
Always.
never fails. But at least they wake up smiling because my client usually greets them with a happy face.
Nice.
They're usually, like, shy and smiling, and I'm like, "Good morning."
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So and what's great about having kids too, it's like as you're going through like your healing and your journey, you can kind of share that with them and teach them along the way because what better way to teach someone but when they're young?
Right.
I mean, they're going to understand it a little bit and a little bit better. We can put it into play, put it into practice. And right now, with Letty being in 4K, I believe this week, what I saw on our plan was they were learning about feelings and emotions. And so every day I picked her up and I'm like, "So what feelings and emotions have we learned today?" Obviously, she doesn't remember, but she's been singing the alphabet, which is great. um, but it's like I want to reach out to her teacher just so then like I can take what she's learning at school and bring it to home, bring it
Mhm.
back to practice. Like yesterday, Huntley got frustrated, and this was like perfect. And this is something that I've been practicing at home too. It's like in the midst of the frustration of when you get frustrated with your little sister, instead of screaming out at the top of your lungs in that like frustrating voice, which she still did, but she stopped and then she walked out the outside and just took a minute for herself, gave herself alone time, gave herself a timeout.
That's big.
And then I'm like looking at our 4-year-old Letty, and she's looking at me like, "Oh, shoot, what did I just do?" I just said, "Letty, why don't you go into your room and just process it?" So
Mhm.
she went into her room. I didn't like, it's not like I was yelling at her or anything because what happened was nothing, really. Huntley just made a glitter pile, and of course, what child is not gonna touch glitter?
Right.
So, Huntley came back in and Letty was in the room and just kind of relayed to Huntley. I said, I totally get that you were frustrated and what you did was appropriate. You went outside, you gave yourself a minute. Do you feel better? Like, let's talk about it for a second. And then she talked about it. Um, and then I did say, I said, okay, now could you maybe go in by Letty and explain to Letty maybe a little bit, like, or apologize? So Letty doesn't feel bad because Letty really didn't do anything. She just didn't know that this was a pile that you put in place. Just like when I sweep and you guys walk through it, you don't understand.
Right.
So it was like a perfect learning opportunity. And I feel like sometimes that's missed at home
Mhm.
because if you look at today's world, look at what the average family is doing the minute that they get home. They're packing up, going to a baseball game, going to a football game, they're sitting in the stands. They're not getting that table sit down meal because kids are now starting sports at first, second,
Right.
third grade with intramurals, dance camps, to flag footballs, to pee wee baseball, which don't get me wrong, I think that's great when you're getting your kid involved in things, but you're also missing out on some of the family time, the home life. You're missing out on the love and the affection and the conversation that we had growing up.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
we didn't have sports that young. We had YMCA camps, we had, um, summer school, and then we had which I didn't go to summer school, we had daycare, and then sports started in 5th grade.
Mm.
Um, so for me to rush my child to getting involved in all these festivities, like, I honestly have kind of been against it.
Mm.
I put her in horse camps, I put her in dance camps, I put her in a basketball camp, and she's done them all, she's enjoyed them. And I asked her if she wanted to sign up for anything or do anything, like dance, did she wanna do it? And her response was, "No, I wanna spend my time home with my family." Our oldest said that, and I was just like, "Oh, that melts my heart. I think
Yeah,
that's
right.
great." So, entering her 2nd grade, I'm like, I don't wanna force anything on her, and my husband was always about, "Why force? Because you're just gonna have the pushback.
Right.
You're just gonna turn her away." So, um, and I never listened. I was like, "We gotta try something. We gotta do something." So I said, "I'm not gonna sign her up for anything. I'll just do the camps with her, get her experienced." And then, I mentioned to her maybe I could do like a basketball camp up at her school with her friends to make it fun, but still teach them a little drills and, something like the one in Hobart did at the driveway. It was great because it was a social outing. She met new people. Um, and they made it to their level, but she didn't wanna do that. She wanted to just do, like, a day weekend with her friends,
Mhm.
in an area that she was comfortable with, and, I mean, I could put the other 2 in anything that they have whatever they wanted, but they're kinda just going with the flow, and I'm not gonna force that stuff because, honestly, I love my family time,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be selfish, and I'm gonna hold on to that as long as I possibly can.
Mhm. As you should.
Yeah. What did I say to Huntley the other day? Huntley made a comment. She's like, "I'm never gonna move out. I'm gonna live here forever." And I'm like, "Yeah, girl, absolutely. You're just gonna help buy groceries. That's all I ask.
Right.
You can help me in the kitchen, help clean. If you wanna live here, that's fine. Absolutely, as long as you got a job."
That's good.
So,
That's sweet.
yeah. Mhm.
Um,
She is sweet. She's our kind-hearted soul. I will say
nice.
that. She is definitely our kind-hearted soul.
That's good. Hey, at least she doesn't wanna
Mhm.
leave.
Yeah.
See how long that lasts.
I'm sure yeah, right? No kidding. No kidding. I mean, oh my god. It'll hit, like, 16. She's already got a little bit of that teen attitude coming. I'm like, you're only 7 years old. You don't need to be talking back to me with attitude,
Right.
okay? Let's take a breath here, calm down, talk to me with kindness." Funny.
If people want to contact you, I hate to cut this off. I got a jet.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
if
I
people
haven't even
want,
looked at
if people want to contact you, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
So they can reach me on Facebook Messenger. I am going to be sending out a new website launch,
Yeah.
hopefully by this week, where they can
Oh,
actually
nice.
sign up for my newsletter and get a free
Cool.
recipe.
You
I
can
do
send me
have the
that link. I'll
WhatsApp.
tack it in the show notes for the newsletter sign
Oh,
up.
yeah, perfect. Thank you. Um, Otherwise, Facebook, email. I'm trying to think of some of the other directories. Instagram. I do have Instagram. Um, those are kind of the
Yeah.
main ways as
Cool.
of current. But yeah, I'd
Cool.
love to connect. Reach out. A phone call doesn't hurt just to learn about my services. So I do
Mhm.
the one on one. I do them in person or via Facebook messaging, like video chatting. I do program designing, and then I actually meet with that individual and talk to them about it because I want them to feel fully confident when they receive it on what they're doing and if they have questions. And I do have some links in that document for them with video tutorials on from YouTube.
Mm.
Um, and then I do small group training and then nutritional coaching and guiding.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. Yeah. Once that website's live, let us know. We'll share the heck out of that and attach the link, especially if it's up soon. Let me know.
yeah, based on the information that I received from my website designer, it's supposed to be actually up, launched hopefully by the end of tomorrow, if not Monday.
Awesome. Let me know.
Yeah.
Shoot me that link.
Yeah, and I will share my newsletter with you.
Mhm.
Also, I just finished editing all of that, and hopefully I'll be able to send that out because that's a separate thing to the email launch
Yeah.
that I'm doing
Yep.
thing. It's all
All
new to me.
different. Yep. You'll figure
It's
it out.
all
Mhm.
different. It's like, "Oh my god, why can't it just be one?"
Yeah.
And
No.
that's the main reason why I hired somebody to help me with my website because I just wanted all of my information in one spot for that individual to
Yep.
look and view, because let me tell you, it is so much easier.
Yeah. It's gonna be a game changer.
Mhm.
100%.
So
Awesome.
but yeah, I appreciate you having
Awesome,
me,
Beth. I appreciate you making time for this.
and connecting with me, and let's stay in connection, and continue on our friendship because that's important
100%.
to me.
I like it. I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right, well, you have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the shift of the season.
Yep. You as well. You as well.
Okay. Thank
Alright.
you.
Yep.
Bye.